chat, here we go. It's the return of Juicy and Nush. Nush has been around recently. Juicy, though, hasn't been on in a bit. I went back and looked through Juicy, who is a French player playing on Moist. I went through his 1v1 record, and it's actually quite good. What a save. I thought Nush had just done enough in order to get a goal. I was looking about his losses. A lot of times you can learn how a player plays based on their losses, and Juicy's losses were only to extremely talented players. Okay, I'm having internet issues. The ball does not normally go that deep into the net. Am I right, chat? I think normally it explodes right once it crosses the goal line. And it looks like you guys got some drop frame as well. And yeah, this is very clearly not a normal kickoff either. Stream died for a second. Yeah, my full internet is dead, obviously, because Nush should be hitting this kickoff and isn't. And now I'm just completely floating in a map with no players. These guys are still playing. Do we just join in? All right. Are you guys back? We can't see. Yeah, I know you can't see. So I had a bit of an internet issue. These guys continued playing. They continue playing despite the fact that I'm sure I disconnected from the match. But we're just going to have them keep playing. I don't want to interrupt their nice game. So you might just jump a few minutes ahead. Sorry that we missed a couple goals. But it is nice and perfectly tied. Yo, thank you for the 5 gifted, Epic Prince Gaming. I don't know what about that disconnect inspired you to want to give 5 subs. But I appreciate you for doing so. Hopefully we're fully back. I mean, we obviously had a little bit of internet issues before. And I don't know why they're happening, but we'll try and see if we can get a full match in. Pay your bills? I do. It's nothing to do with paying my bills. Great dash kickoff from both these guys. I forget where I was at before I had every streamer's worst nightmare, which is of the stream disconnecting. But I believe I was maybe talking about Juicy, who has solid losses. Like, only loses to the absolute best, which is actually a very good sign. It almost makes me expect him to be the favorite here against Nush, who's a mechanical youngster trying to make his way in, I believe, 13, maybe 14-year-old Saudi Arabian 1v1er. Epic Prince Gaming. Thank you so much. I was resetting the scoreboard here. I wasn't able to switch to perspectives as Nush takes the offer from Juicy to slam in a double touch. As Juicy pops the ball directly up in the air. For my internet? Oh, my internet doesn't deserve it at all. My internet doesn't deserve it. And it's not like I'm not paying for the best possible internet. It was really good for almost like a full year. Not a single problem ever. Recently, it has started to hiccup again. I wonder if I just need to call out the service provider, because they came out and fixed it last time when it was dropping every once in a while. Maybe they have a fix they could do again. But for now, it's Juicy who needs the fix. Down 1. As Nush faking a challenge here. Really just trying to stick around the play. Did not expect a full Juicy whiff, but is available to take advantage of it. They're like, oh yeah, we throttled you again? Yeah, I don't know. They have to like change some settings on the node receiver outside the house or something. I don't know. I don't know that much about it. I do know that they fixed it last time, which was great. Juicy to the sky. Falling down in front of the net. Nush, very passive defensive attempts. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I want to pull up the replay setting. There it is. Use POV goal replays. I believe I turned it off. What a save, says Nush. But it does feel like Nush kind of dropped the ball towards Juicy on the back wall. I maybe have to go back and watch it again. Juicy waiting up above the crossbar for the shot. Nice flick from Juicy to equalize. Juicy reset at ceiling heights. Under a minute left to go. Every goal so crucial. And somehow this low pop gets past Nush. Nush pre-jumping, and maybe his flip had just gone away. It seemed like a diagonal flip into the ball there would have been exactly what he needed to get a strong clear. Instead, just matrix underneath it. Juicy flick. Has himself a lead. Wants to extend it, but doesn't quite score on this one. Crossbar post and down. Wow. Ball to air dribble from Nush. And an important one at that. Reset on one side of the ball. The pogo shot! Juicy able to keep it out of the net. I mean, I'm not sure it was trying to score in the tiniest of windows there. Nush, still another chance. Reset 50. Gonna get around the ball. Didn't want to use the flip either. I feel like that would probably have ended his possession. So he went for the safer option, but the angle just wasn't there. Juicy, game number 1 against Nush. A much higher flying matchup here. Match number 2 today. Game number 2. Juicy and Nush. 1 goal separated them in their first bout. Nush playing quite aggressive without any 100 boost to reset on. Does ultimately decide to go all the way back, but only after following Juicy all the way into the corner. Nush will strike first. Juicy shooting from far outs, playing into the hands of the far back defender. Nush kickoff win. Doesn't have to be fancy to convert on a goal. The double jump bump will do it. Juicy was watching this replay here. Try and see what went wrong. Backflip does not connect with the ball. Yeah, I was wondering that earlier. Nush still using the Super Bowl goal explosion. And I don't know if he's a big American football fan or just likes the way it looks. It is unique in that it always centers on your camera, which I feel like could be one of the reasons why someone might want to use it. Kind of like the ghost that always shows up in front of your car no matter what, from that Halloween bundle. Nush, first touch reset, uses it right away. What a catch. Wants another one, threatens it. That's enough to get Juicy flipping. Not enough to score with. Now he's going to have to try and not allow Juicy a goal. That's not going to be easy. Nush is under 15 years old. That's what I know for sure. I honestly forget, like I said multiple times, whether he's 13 or 14. But I know that he's not quite of RLCS age yet. Juicy delaying that flip, pulling Nush in for a challenge. Nush thinking, you see Nush turns away, prepping for Juicy to launch the ball. But when he sees Juicy not using the flip, that's when he thinks, maybe I can turn back in and make a play on it. And only after he's done that does Juicy use it to push it past him. Nush playing a good bit of keep away, but also keeps him from being able to find an angle. Nush not a ton of boost to work with. Free-flipping into the ball. Trying to surprise Juicy with speed. Not normally the kind of play you see 1v1 players make. They're usually looking to control in that situation, but sometimes the unorthodox is the answer. Nush right now has a catch. Juicy hiding behind the ball. It seemed like Nush was setting up for a flick, but couldn't get it set up in time. Ball taken away. Juicy reset at the midfield. Landing with the wave dash. The shot's not good enough to buy himself the time he needed. Wait, yes it is. It's just good enough to buy himself the time he needed in order to grab boost and get back. And he's able to save this off the post and right back to himself. Juicy wants the pogo. Seems like both players in this match are interested in involving the pogo. Even earlier, when Juicy went for a wave dash shot, it seemed like he was considering the pogo option as he landed far from the ground. Nush is going to give him a ton of space. Slow dribble right down the center of the field, and a bit of a risk when you do that. Nush shows why. Able to half flip to steal the ball away. And a flick guarantees that Juicy never had a chance. Fake kickoff. Wave dash kickoff is very solidly countered by that Juicy. There's that pogo again. Nush eats it up before the shot and should be able to equalize the game. Nush power shots from his position with less boost. Just trying to pin Juicy back, buy himself some time, and he's done so. Pick up the midfield and the back corner, but he seems hesitant on the goal line in a time where he needs to be confident. Juicy looking to roll this all the way to there, or dribble this, I should say, all the way to the opposite side of the net. Maybe Nush thinking that Juicy's going to go down for a reset and play it a bit slower, and that's why he doesn't cover the ground, but that ends up being the wrong decision. Luckily for him, a couple different times now after Juicy's given or taken away the lead, gives it right back. Juicy don't want to be slamming the ball to the ground with zero boost while you're on the wall. Not unless you're getting that ball over the top of the defender, but landing in front of the defender is a death sentence. Juicy to the air. Nush pre-jumped. I want to go back and watch that pre-jump. It seemed like he pre-jumped and then faked bailing out of it. I don't know if I'm making that up. I don't like that the internet there obviously hiccups. The long shot puts Nush in the lead. Countering has worked for him. Nush half flip to the back wall. Cannot get a follow-up shot. Has to hold on to this one goal lead with a minute. Doesn't seem like he's going to be able to. Juicy's first touch. Sets up the side flip shot. Juicy, what a play. Has Nush low. And if he can play this dribble all the way through the air quickly, he can capitalize on it. And that's what he does. The reset to finish. We watched it first from Nush's perspective. And I don't think Nush was wrong for staying grounded. He had no choice but to hope that Juicy maybe missed mechanically, but it's not what happened. Nush now. Slow flick. Maybe trying to see if he could fake it as he held onto that flip. Using it at that final moment. Able to take the midfield boost from Juicy, so there'll be a back off and an opportunity to maybe ice out the game. With 18 seconds on the clock, fake air dribble has Juicy pre-jumping. Nush's camera settings are such that it's not very hard for Juicy to hide behind the ball. This flick is wide, and Juicy will be able to get 100 as well. So now it's Juicy with a really solid chance. He's got Nush low. He actually looks to make a ground play instead of taking up for an aerial where he probably would have had the advantage with all the extra boost. It'll be overtime. Bump by Nush onto Juicy. Don't think the long shot is quite available. Juicy turning in field because Nush gave him that opportunity. What is Nush doing here? Strong touch to give the ball away, and what felt like a possession for him, and it's going to cost him an entire game. I am not sure why Nush gave the ball away. It didn't feel like Juicy was pressuring him, and instead he tried to play out of defense, and Juicy showed him why you can't do that. 2-0 for the Frenchman in this battle between France and KSA. Chat says Juicy's heading to K-Corp confirmed. If everybody who wore a K-Corp decal ended up playing for K-Corp, I think they'd have about 25 to 30 players on their team. But certainly, it is K-Corp Juicy confirmed. Oh yeah, I'm talking just about pro players. Obviously, everyone who wears the decal, be a ton of people. Nush able to win the race to the midfield, despite Juicy going for the wave dash kickoff. And it's Nush on a slow dribble where he is having to use context in order to read what Juicy's doing, because he certainly cannot see him behind the ball. Interesting shot from Nush, who did not want to use his flip. Felt like Juicy was covered. Yeah, the stealing shot for Juicy. It's going to be a goal. Nush cannot rush back to the ball. Juicy gets his reset off the ceiling. Uses that to go up 2-0. Missed wave dash from Juicy. He's trying to pull away. Nush waiting for his opportunity to get a possession. He's done so, but he is forced into his back corner. Juicy off the ceiling has Nush playing the dribble slower. Looks to eventually use this 80 boost he has. Forced off the ball. Resetting on the back corner again. Nush with 23 wanted the hook shot, but the moment it took to set it up was enough of a window for Juicy to challenge. Nush hoping to make this ball unshootable, but Juicy is a whole different animal. Nush put it about as high as in the arena as it can go. What a soft first touch. Flipping underneath the ball for the resets, and he actually forced an own goal too, I think. It looked like it was crossbar down and maybe out if it weren't for Nush tapping it in, but Nush is going to be able to capitalize on the fake challenge. Nice read to put himself on the board. Nush. Hook shots. Trying to get a demo on the return, and without any boost, forced into a panic play. Or at least tried to immediately challenge. Debatable whether he was forced to, but certainly does not pay out for him. Juicy kickoff win. Looking to just attack the opposite corners of Nush's net over and over. But Nush is able to escape. I don't expect to see Juicy denying a dribble opportunity like this one. And he does this front flip underneath the ball. I think we saw Nush do something similar with the backflip in this match. He's threatening that musty. Instead, he takes the ball to the ground. He does use that flip late. Not like it mattered. The important part was threatening the flick, getting Nush to miss, and then sticking around to finish it off. Every game so far has been close, but Juicy trying to run away with this one. He's freestyling up here. That's the third reset. And if Nush could have stayed grounded, he would have had himself his second goal, but it's so hard not to pre-jump a guy like Juicy the way he's been slotting these shots. Nush all the way to the ceiling and actually did a great job of stopping Juicy's dribble right at the start. Although it's not great for his boost total, it's probably better for him overall. As he gets a nice flick out of a possession. Another pre-jump from Nush. He's had enough of Juicy's antics in the air. Undercutting Juicy now. 12 boost to work with. The ball's not in the best spot for him. Pulling Juicy in though by clearing it in front of his net. Saving that flip until after Juicy approaches the ball. Oh my goodness, Juicy. Juicy's leveled up here in game 3. Juicy taking this one to the ceiling. Nush for a moment thought about getting up in the air in order to try and make a save on something high or in the top left corner, and then adjust back down to the ground. The ball actually ends up going to a very savable position had he known that that's where Juicy was going to place it. But Juicy's done the hard work of making it impossible to predict where he's going to place it. Okay, Nush really is just freestyling. He's just trying to get as many resets as possible. Okay, wait, Juicy right back. Right now, it has maybe turned into a freestyle 1v1. I wouldn't say for sure, but right there was a great opportunity for Nush to just take a free net, and he didn't do so. He got the ball 50'd into another reset by Juicy. All right, what do we have? Juicy has no boost to work with, so we have nothing. And it doesn't seem like he's going to explicitly cut the ball to set up another play. 50 seconds left to go. What does Nush have in store? A little bounce dribble? Not enough. Ground pinch as these two style at the end of the match. Seems like it's going to be a sweep. Unless Nush has an amazing discovery on a kickoff. Juicy will make it 7-1. Off of his ground flick. 15 seconds left to go. I'm telling you, man, Juicy, maybe he doesn't play as much 1v1 as he could. But in his matches, he's only lost to the top dogs. Nush, solid shot. Still not good enough to prevent Juicy from finishing this match 7-1. One more opportunity for either of them to prevent the Brazil, but it will be a Brazil and it will be a sweep for Juicy as he crushes in this match.